glorious day here, as you might be able to tell. I've just been sitting doing some voice work outside, which is my favourite place to make sound. And yeah, moving from toning into more fully vocalized sounds and melodic phrases, which I guess I would begin to put into the category of singing. It's emerged for me that there is some restriction and tightness that's inhibiting the voice. So I've just been feeling into that, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to just share a little bit about that process of working with the voice and tapping into your instrument, your body, to really make your own assessments about where root causes of tension or restriction or inhibition lie, because you are ultimately going to know that better than anyone else possibly could. So yeah, in the process for me just now of sitting and sounding and trying to, I suppose, push the voice in a direction that I wanted it to go, because as you develop in any subject area new skills, new levels of awareness, it's natural to want to put that into practice, which I was trying to do. I was trying to implement conceptual ideas about tone and power and clarity that I wanted to bring through, and was finding that my ability to do that and my energy levels were not rising to meet that. So I am a little bit tired today, and I have been doing a lot of mental work, but then I was able to go into that feeling a little deeper just through pursuing and still making different attempts to try and achieve the sound I wanted to achieve from different angles. So I was making adjustments to breath, to posture, and checking in that they were okay, and alignment and everything was pretty good. Was breathing from the diaphragm and giving enough support to the sound, and then checking into just kind of general energy levels and feeling that that wouldn't in that moment be something that was contributing in such a big way to why the sound was not present for me in the way I would like. So as a result of just continuing to make inquiries through different angles, I've kind of pinpointed actually some pain in the chest. So round about here, which there's a connection to an injury, and yeah, there's a holding pattern there, which I've been experiencing when it does flare up from the back and from the side. But now this is my awareness has been drawn to the front because I was doing a lot of expansion, a lot of breath. I was working in the upper registers, and using a technique which I had learned in Mongolia, which is Iskre Humi, and I was using that in the upper registers, and then opening just to normal Humi, and the air pressure that's required to make those sounds is quite a lot of force and strength, and you really feel that from like the power source of the breath all the way up to like the articulators and where the sound actually leaves the body. So along the way there's a bit of a disruption physically to the vocal channel, and it's too early in identification of this for me to be able to pinpoint entirely what it is, but I wanted to talk around it anyway, because just to explain now my process and the steps that I would take from here to go into some more self-inquiry about that on not just a physical level, but then an emotional one too, because yes, I have had an injury here, and it's very, very possible that there may be a direct link there, but just feeling into that and actually like giving a bit of pressure and touch and actually connecting with the emotional field in relation to how that sensation is. It feels like that there might be some emotional blockage there. So now I've identified an area which gives me scope for targeting that area, just in terms of like visualization process, and also considering that area specifically when doing physical warm-ups, really ensuring that intercostal muscles and chest is open, but then also just round the shoulders, the tendons here, the neck, the jaw, and where there is actually a connection to the soft tissue and the muscle there, just giving a bit of extra focus and attention to that as preparation before actually going into singing. So that's important to mention. And then as far as the emotional space goes, that then becomes an area for me to give a bit more attention to if I'm sitting in meditation or reflection or a quiet space, that I can allow myself to connect with that part of the body, then gently begin to make an inquiry about asking is there anything that it needs to express? Is there anything that I need to be made aware of? And personally for me, I find that that's a process that I'm trying to work with more at the moment, and I would definitely encourage you to explore it if you haven't. It's just a process of dialoguing with the body, and when I say body in that sense, I guess I'm referring to the many layers, like mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, psychological, you know, so the spectrum there. And at least by inviting and opening a space there for awareness, there might be then a focus that comes to one particular layer or area that's asking for a bit of attention. So now I would also take an opportunity, if I felt I had the capacity and the energy to do so, to journey a little bit with the sensation, with the feeling in relation to the sound. So you've been using sound as a tool to scope out and to scan the body, and then also just as a creative tool to express and to play with. And in the process of doing that, there has been something brought to your awareness about a blockage or challenge within your voice practice. And then now would then be a good chance for you to, with that awareness and realization, go into that with a little bit more focus and taking a magnifying glass onto that area, and then also just with a new sensitivity of listening, because you might be able to glean more information at this point. So I'm just gonna vocalize into this space and into this feeling that I've identified now, and just improvise around that for a minute, just to open up the possibility of an avenue for release if there's some emotional tension or residual energy that's built up there that is actually causing an issue. So sharing sharing my vulnerable pain point with you right now, but just to illustrate how we might be able to move in a positive direction, in a progressive direction with this. So just through the process of choosing to explore that sensation and that feeling of restriction, of something not fully opening or releasing, and working very tentatively and carefully around that, just to be sure that yes, there is pain which has made itself aware to me, but there's not a pushing around anything that is going to give damage or overexertion. So that's down to you to find and strike that balance. Gentle pushing and manipulation of muscles in the way that you exercise, it's the same. There's a little bit of stretching, tension, unworking of knots to be expected, and for the muscle to feel tired after use. So that is normal, but anything that is over stretching and pushing, and that's something that you would have to feel into yourself. So just that process for me allows me to have some points to take away for reflection, and perhaps to consider in then intentions to bring into the next time that I come to the voice work. And yeah, just an opportunity as well for anything that did need to come out, to be invited to in a maybe more careful and gentle space. So just wanted to drop in and to share that process and that small journey, and hopefully there's some takeaways for you to apply to your own voice work and singing practice when you come to it.